Diving stations, diving stations. Roger, third. Answer, diving stations correct. All positions. Set target range 045, 046, 049. Top deck, fire salvo 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to this Independence Day special on Network 18. Soon I'm going to be on board the INS Sindhu Dhwaj, one of the 13 kilocast submarines that are currently deployed in deep sea to keep India's maritime borders safe. Submarines, now more than ever, are crucial to the Indian Navy, given that China is making its presence felt in our backyard, that is the Indian Ocean. And submariners perhaps have the toughest job in the world. Cramped in windowless steel containers like that one, 300 feet under the sea, they negotiate dangers at every turn with a sense of pride and commitment to the nation. Over the next 30 minutes, we are saluting the courage and commitment of these underwater warriors, and we are also trying to find out what keeps them diving.
Hi Shreya, welcome on board, welcome on board.
Good to meet you. Thank you so much for having us on board. Commander Anshul Avasthi is the CEO of INS Sindhu Dhwaj. Captain, thank you very much for having us on board. This is our first time in a submarine. Any do's and don'ts?
We are very privileged to host you today, and before I take you inside, I must tell you a couple of do's and don'ts. First is your own safety. The spaces are very crammed up. There'll be pipelines and equipment and hardly any space to walk, so please take care of your safety, mind your heads. And of course, anybody who goes inside submarine is well versed with the escape procedures, which you people are not. So I request you, if you hear any emergency order or emergency signal which is generally on a bell, a continuous sounds on bell, I would request you to leave everything and just move out of the submarine. That's all. I think you are good to go inside. Let's take you on board.
Thank you so much.
Explore standby motor. Stand by to raise after stroke.
Danger is something INS Sindhu Dhwaj negotiates every time she casts off from the harbour. In its 30 years of service, this Kilo-class Russian-origin submarine has been deployed on top-secret missions in the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. This big boy weighs 3,000 tons and measures 72 meters. INS Sindhu Dhwaj has 6 compartments and boasts of some heavy weaponry, homing torpedoes, missile launchers and mines. It prowls the dark depths of the ocean, 79 feet if required, carrying a crew of 54 for up to 45 days.
Captain, submarine diving position, sir. Permission to sound prepared to dive.
Sound prepared to dive, clear to go.
Such is the stealth and secrecy of its mission that even the captain of the boat is unaware of it till the submarine has been sealed. The first thing that hits you as you make your way down a submarine is first of all the heat, at least 40 degrees here, and then lack of oxygen. It's almost like someone has sucked the air out of your lungs. And if you're claustrophobic, then God save you.
Send all extra hands down.
Answer all extra hands down.
Once the hatch is shut, the crew of INS Sindhu Dhwaj is cut off from the outside world. There will be no sunlight, no fresh air, no bath, and no contact with family till the mission is over. It could take anywhere between 10 to 45 days. This wasn't as tough as I thought.
Yeah. Welcome to control room, Shreya.
Thank you so much. So the hatch is shut, which
The hatch
means
is shut, which means now we are cut off from the world. We are, virtually invisible to everybody and literally cut off from everybody. And from now onwards till the completion of our mission, there will be no communication with shore authorities except for our professional and mission related requirements which will be on highly secure circuits will be
So
talked.
which means you will not be in touch with your families for the entire duration
Out of question,
of the
no,
mission.
no, we will not be, and because the submarine operations are very covert operations, and as you know that covertness is the basic fundamental of any military operation. So that is the reason that the moment a submarine loses its position, it has lost everything.
But do you have email? Do you have cell
No,
phones?
no,
during
absolutely nothing
emergency?
nothing is on board as of now, and we have to maintain our stealth. That is what submarines are meant for, to maintain their stealth.
How do your families deal with something like this?
We have a pretty solid, liaison team and support infrastructure who take care of families, and we are very confident that they'll be well taken care of in our absence.
Diving stations, diving stations. Azimut. Answer, diving stations correct. SPF forward, 90, aft, 85, bomb, 28.5, Q, nil, KH, 2.5, DPK, 2400 meters, sir.
Yeah.
No visual contacts, no achieve, no traffic.
1.5 meters, input compartments, weight section line, and excelsior time.
So this is the control room where all the operations are controlled from here.
The control room, the heart of the submarine, is a small space filled with screens, levers, switches, panels, and some hard punches.
Boat started going down sharp. 10. Standby to depth gauges. Open set containment. Standby to depth gauges.
We have dived the boat to 50 meters.
Lieutenant Commander V. Babuji, the executive officer of INS Sindhudhwaj, is at the control station as the boat dives deep.
Shipset 020. Shipset 030.
For a submariner, pride runs deep as well.
This is the control room. It's the heart of the submarine, from where the entire submarine operations are being handled. It's being controlled totally from this particular place, from where we can control the flooding of the ballast tanks through this control panel. The propulsion orders, that is the speed orders, which we give through this telegraph, which gets transmitted to the motor room, where he matches and then adjusts the speed. This is the panel where we use the planes to go to any depth which we require, to 50 meters, 100 meters, or any maximum depth which we are designed to. And you can see these are the two periscopes which the officer of the watch mans to keep an eye of the entire sea outside when we are at 9 meters, because this is the only one. He's the only one person which has an eye on the outside wall. Everybody, we are just inside the water. And there you see that is the fire control system, which gives inputs on the enemy target data, from where we can control the firing of torpedoes and missiles.
You know, even under normal circumstances, a submarine is a very challenging workplace, and not just because of its the sort of constraints it brings. I want to ask you, what brought you here? Why did you choose to be a submarine?
It is very hard for me to think what I don't like, because I like everything about the submarine. And the only thing maybe I don't like is being at harbour. We all want to be at sea throughout. Drop white lighting, revert to red lighting.
And drop white lighting.
All positions, set target range, 70 cables, target speed, 15 knots, stand by to start attacking watches, bearing from sonar, bearings every minute, stand by, now.
Roger, all positions.
All positions, set target course 230. Captain promise to prepare TTC train for Salvo 1, 5 and 6, Salvo 2.
The cutting-edge sonar system of INS Sindhudhwaj has just picked up a signal from an approaching enemy ship. The instructions are clear: shoot at sight.
So torpedo track 006. Omega red 14.
The torpedo is prepped up, the atmosphere is tense.
Standby TD 3 and 4.
Top deck control, stand by, TT 3 and 4.
Container bearings.
A single miscalculation can put the entire submarine and its crew
046.
at risk. And then, the moment everyone on board has trained for
049.
with single-minded commitment.
Okay, fire. Fire Salvo 1.
Top deck, fire Salvo 1.
Fire Salvo 1. Change over to white lighting. Drop red lighting.
Captain, these are drills that you do every day? when
That's
you're
right,
in the submarine, even under the sea.
That's right.
This was an attack drill.
This was an attack drill what you witnessed just now, and these kind of drills are done over and over again so that all the people who are finding out the target motion parameters, they reach a stage where they can do it much faster and more accurate solutions can be given.
Is it true that till you're in the submarine, you don't know what mission you're going to and that it comes in a sealed envelope?
That's correct, because whenever, as I told you, that the deployments of submarines are highly classified in addition to being very risky missions. So it is mission dependent. There are a lot of missions about which we are not told, and we are handed over an envelope, and when the submarine goes out, dives and settles down, that is the time that I have the authority to open that envelope and see what mission it is going for and what location it is going.
In its 50 years, the submarine arm of the Indian Navy has never fired at an enemy ship or submarine. The need has never arisen. Just the whispered talk of its presence is deterrent enough.
The submarine arm, I think, is instrumental in providing deterrence. And that is the name of the game. You see, presence of a submarine is so fearful that it can bottle up fleets inside harbor. So I think our main job is to provide so much of deterrence. The fear of that punch should be so great that the enemy should think twice before venturing into waters where he knows Indian submarines are deployed.
This is a shark of steel that even the most cutting-edge sonar system will find impossible to detect underwater. In the deep, dark world of the ocean, sonars are the eyes and ears of a submarine. Sonar officers are trained to a degree where they can identify the class and origin of a ship just by the sound it makes.
It's quite amazing to see how submariners negotiate these constrained spaces. Everyone I've seen has learned to hide, to duck, to bend, to dodge, just to avoid running into each other, and all of that is done with a smile.
Packed like sardines in a tin gets a whole new meaning inside a submarine. 70 men living and operating in a space as tiny as a 2 BHK flat means that not everyone gets a bunk to themselves. The crew takes turns to sleep, a tradition that is called hot bunking. There are just 2 bathrooms to go around, and here is the ultimate irony on board. Surrounded by water, the most precious commodity inside a submarine is water. So no shave or bath till the mission is over.
I just want to show you how sailors live in a submarine. This is the shower room. It's a small place. It rarely gets used because there isn't enough water on board the ship, so no one has a shower. In fact, they don't even shave is what I'm being told. And then of course here is the galley, which is the most important compartment in a submarine. The galley, of course, is the kitchen of the submarine. Saab, namaskar. Ratan Lal ji is the chief cook of the submarine.
Ratan Lal, the chief chef of INS Sindhu Dhwaj, can cook up a storm in this tiny galley equipped with bare minimum devices. But the 2 things he cannot do is chop onions or fry anything on board.
ऑयलिंग फ्राई भी नहीं कर सकते हैं वो,
कोई भी फ्राइंग नहीं हो सकती सबमरीन में। क्यों? क्योंकि बाहर जाने के लिए
क्योंकि CO2 बढ़ जाएगा यहाँ पर, और जैसे स्नोटिंग होती है
कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बढ़ जाएगा, इसलिए फ्राइंग नहीं कर सकते। ऑन बोर्ड फ्राइंग बिल्कुल
नहीं कर सकते। और ऑनियन भी काटते हैं, जैसे डाइविंग में होते हैं तो ऑनियन से जैसे आंखों में पानी जाता है ऑनियन का, तो आंखों से पानी गिरना शुरू हो जाता है, तो सभी की आंखें जलना शुरू हो जाती है।
पूरे सबमरीन में,
पूरी सबमरीन में सर्कुलेशन आप टन से लेके 4 तक सभी का ये की सर्कुलेशन है, उसके अंदर पूरा वो हो जाएगा, तो सभी की आंखों से पानी आ जाए। कहीं पर भी बात करते हो
तो प्याज भी इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते।
Khichdi is on the menu today, along with some pickle and raita to cheer things up. All served on a plate with paper lining to ensure that the oil gets soaked and washing up can be done with bare minimum water.
We are in this 9x6 room almost like a AC third class compartment, and this is what doubles up as a bedroom, as a dining room, as the drawing room as well.
At the sailor's deck, it is common to see one plate feed many. These are men who come from different parts of India but share a bond as strong as the steel INS Sindhudhwaj is made of. 23-year-old Ajay Kumar is from Bihar.
हमें ये नहीं होती कि हम बिहार के हैं, हम आंध्रा के हैं, हम महाराष्ट्र के हैं। सारे दोस्त हम एक साथ खाते हैं, एक साथ डांस गाने चलते रहते हैं, हमारी एंटरटेनमेंट होती रहती है। हमें घर की याद आती है, लेकिन इतने ये हो जाते हैं हम लोग गाने वाने में एंटरटेन करते रहते हैं कि घर की याद भी भूल जाते हैं।
और ये जो कपड़े आपने पहने हैं, ये स्पेशल कपड़े हैं?
ये हमारे इसको डिस्पोजल बोला जाता है मैम। ये हम जब सेलिंग करते हैं तो हम नहाने के हमारी प्रबंध नहीं होती, पानी हमारे नहीं मिलते नहाने के लिए, तो ये हम इसको यूज़ करते हैं और 2 दिन के बाद हम इसको थ्रो कर देते हैं। इसको डिस्पोजल बोल रहे हैं।
तो बिल्कुल नहीं नहाते? अगर अंडर सी 40 दिन है तो 40 दिन नहीं नहाएंगे?
40 दिन है तो 40 दिन भी नहीं हम नहाएंगे।
और
शेविंग भी नहीं करते हम, बस ओनली टूथब्रश करते हैं और बस फेस वॉश कर लेते हैं।
जब घर पहुंचते हैं तो पहचान लेते हैं घर वाले?
घर पे पहचान लेंगे।
With space being a major constraint, everyone on board learns to improvise. The wardroom can turn into an operation theatre in a matter of minutes. Any repairs in this toxic battery room is done sliding on these batteries. INS Sindhudhwaj is mostly powered by these 240 batteries it carries. Each weighs a ton. Back in the control room, things have fallen silent. Lieutenant Commander Lohit, the senior engineer of INS Satwahana, says there is a reason why submariners are a quiet lot.
Well, you have something like 76 men, 76 stories. You finish off all the stories in first 7 to 10 days and there's nothing else to speak. You finish off all the movies and the books which you have, but then it's all silent. We are a silent arm. Men tend to be silent after 10 days. So they don't have anything to speak about.
Sound travels 5 times faster underwater. During stealth operations, efforts are made to minimize the noise produced to avoid detection by an enemy ship. And that includes talking.
We are now in the weapons deck of INS Sindhudhwaj, and this is where the most important asset of the submarine, around which this entire submarine is built, is kept. These are the torpedoes here.
The torpedo, without doubt, is the star performer of India's submarine fleet. It is a self-propelled underwater missile designed to detonate as it hits its target. Firing it is an art that requires complex mathematics and regular practice. Lieutenant Commander S. Katoch is the weapons officer of INS Sindhudhwaj.
Sindhu class submarines can carry 3 kinds of weapons. First is missiles. There are 2 types: anti-ship missiles and land attack missiles. And then we can also carry, actually we also carry torpedoes. Torpedoes are anti-ship torpedoes and anti-submarine torpedoes. And we can also lay mines. And the number of the weapons which we carry means the combination depends on the type of missions for which we are going.
At 30, INS Sindhudhwaj is the oldest serving submarine of the Eastern Naval Command, as old as the average age of its crew. As the Indian Navy celebrates the induction of its first submarine, INS Kalavari, 50 years ago, the big worry is its aging fleet and depleting numbers. The Navy currently is making do with just 13 diesel-electric submarines, almost all over 20 years old. It additionally has 2 nuclear-powered submarines, INS Arihant and INS Chakra. Posing a strategic challenge is China, with its operational undersea force of 63, which is expected to go up to 98 in the next 3 years.
Decimal 5, DPK 2407.
In the control room, INS Sindhu Dhwaj is being prepped for a breath of fresh air.
Panel radar.
It has been 24 hours underwater, and the air that the crew has been breathing is beginning to turn stale. The submarine will ascend to snorkeling depth, where it is just short of the surface of the sea. The stale air and fumes from its diesel engines will be snorted out, and fresh air will be sucked in. This is the time when a submarine like INS Sindhu Dhwaj is most vulnerable. It can potentially be detected by an enemy aircraft, warships, or submarines. There are no exit doors in a submarine. In the eventuality of a hit or a disaster, the old adage of going down with the boat is no longer applicable. At INS Satvahana, the submarine training base in Visakhapatnam, escape training is the toughest part of the course. It requires cadets, all of whom have volunteered to be here, to get into this 17 kg escape suit and crawl through a torpedo tube filled with water and pressurized up to 30 meters depth. Claustrophobics never get the honor of wearing a dolphin fin. Only the best and bravest do.
The most important quality is, I think, the man has to be brave and courageous. I know it's like a cliche, but the fact remains it takes certain kind of dedication to be inside a metal tube, 200 meters below this water, God knows where, out of touch with your family, out of touch with your friends, without access to a telephone or a smartphone or a television or a radio set, and yet get up day after day after day and do your job. Everybody feels scared. I mean, I would be lying if I said that nobody feels scared. But then you have to be courageous and brave enough to overcome that fear and yet do your job, stay inside a submarine and serve the nation.
Courage, honor, and a commitment to keep India safe. For these underwater warriors, pride runs deep and silent, much like their submarines.
All positions, set target range 045, 046, 049. Top deck, fire salvo 1.